Hi, ladies and dudes. This is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobop197. This is my review for today, and today's review, ladies and dudes. Well, my friends, it's that time again for another top 10 list. And this top 10 list I want to do is, and since Halloween is coming, I decided to do my very first top 10 list that'll be something that'll be kind of scary to me. Every time I watch a movie, and no, I'm not gonna add any horror movies in my list. There'll be no scary moments that involves a horror film. I'm just gonna add a couple of scary moments here and there that came from rated rated PG-13, and a couple of good anime movies I really do like. So yeah, for my top 10 list, I want to do is my top 10 most scariest movie moments of all time. And to cut this short, I'm just looking for some moments that are kind of scary to me. Like somebody's going to get tortured, or someone's going to die, or something that will really do scare me for the rest of my life. Ooh, this is going to be freaking scary. Well, I have nothing else to say about what I want to say about for this brand new list that I want to do for today. So, anyway, without further ado, ladies and dudes, here are my top 10 most scariest movie moments of all time. And sadly, I'm not going to bring any props over because I don't have much props to put on this list. But anyway, I just decided to do a nice piece of paper so I could explain to you about what are my most scariest moments I have ever seen in movie history. So let's get on with the list. Okay, before I can do my list, I have two honorable mentions that did not make it to the list. Okay, one of them is for Interview with the Vampire, the part where that poor blonde-haired girl is going to fall into her fate for what those evil vampire people are going to do to her. If you remember that stage scene. And the other came from Sweeney Todd, when Sweeney Todd had neck stabbed the people in their throats. So yeah, those are my honorable mentions. You could say they came from a horror flick, but I'm not going to add any of those in my list. Okay, anyway, let's go on to my top 10 list. Okay, for number 10 is Taken 2. There was a scary moment I will never forget that happened in Taken 2. It's a part where Lenore is about to be tortured by one of those evil Propoya dudes, and this guy has this little pieces of scissors with a little tiny blade there. I have no idea what the heck he's going to do when he added some scissors while he's going to do something to Lenore. It does feel like that guy is going to sexually harass her, if you know what I mean. And that scene really did scare me. That fits in number 10. Number 9 goes to The Woman in Black. That came from Daniel Radcliffe's film. One of the most scariest moments I'll never forget in that movie is at the beginning of the story, where you see three girls playing tea party with the dolls and those little teacups, and I have no idea where the Woman in Black is. She put a curse on those three girls and took them to their death, and that was pretty darn scary. Number 8 goes to The Dark Crystal. It is one of the most weakest moments in the movie, but it's also pretty darn scary too. The part where the Skeksis had surrounded Chamberlain and they tortured him and ripping off his clothes, and they just left him there naked. And it's too darn scary to see a monster is going to get tortured by their own kind, rip off their clothes, and just leave them naked. That's kind of disgusting, don't you think? Ooh, that fits at number 8. Number 7 goes to Princess Mononoke. One of the most scariest moments I'll never forget in the movie is somewhere around the beginning of the film, where you see that big giant warthog who is on the loose around the west or something. I think it was, I think it was the East. There was a part where this big giant warthog is getting controlled by millions of worms, and it started to become this weird looking monster. I think some type of big giant worm creature or something like that, and that really did scare me. That freaked me out. Okay, number 6 goes to Batman, the 1989 version. It's the part where the Joker is going to use some type of poison that's going to surround that museum, and there's going to be a lot of people who's going to die and getting affected by the poison. All of them just died instantly, but the only person who survived is Vicky Vale. Man, that scene really did scare me to death, if you know what I mean. Okay, for number 5 goes to Ninja Scroll. One of the most scariest moments I will never forget in that movie, and since it is an anime film, I'll never forget that part with that big giant stone dude. Remember that guy? He was so freaking huge. He has a big giant weapon that kills a whole lot of people in half. And there was a part where he ripped that guy's arms off and drinks his blood. And most of all, he's going to rape Kagero, if you remember that scary scene where he's going to sexually harass her. That was pretty darn scary. So anyway, that fits at number 5. At number 4, the only Disney movie that I will add on this list is Tarzan. And it took place at the near end of the movie. The part where Tarzan and Clayton are going to fight in the trees here and there. And there was a part at the near end of the movie where Tarzan had finally tracked Clayton by a couple of vines, and Clayton tried so hard to get out of those vines as quick as he can, but he forgot that one of the vines is in his neck. And this is the part where Clayton dies, and you see him when there's a strike of lightning coming, and you know, seeing his body, his neck got hanged, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I put that at number 4. Okay, ladies and dudes, here we go. The moment you've all been waiting for. My top 3 most scariest movie moments of all time. And these moments are the most scariest ones of all, so here we go. Number 3 goes to the Moulin Rouge. Oh yeah, I guess you know which scene I'm talking about. It's the part that happened in the Gothic Tower. The part where the Duke got very, very jealous for finding out that Satine is really in love with Christian, and he got angry about it, and he had no choice but to torture and rape Satine by tearing her apart. And oh, this is really scary. Well, if you did see that movie, you'll know what I mean. Number 2 goes to Liam Neeson's new film, and truly his most underrated movie so far is A Walk Among the Tombstones. And yeah, that movie does have some scary moments here and there, but the only scary moment I will add on this list is the part where, you know, Kenny's wife, the one who got kidnapped and she died instantly. There was a part in that movie where the Tombstone dude told Matthew his story about what had happened to Kenny's wife, and that those 2 men had tortured her in the van, and they did something perverted to her, and that poor guy just ran out of the car and never seen that scene again. That was pretty darn scary, if you know what I mean. I was scared to death. And finally, ladies and dudes, here it is. My number 1 most scariest movie moment of all time, period, goes to this one of the most underrated anime movies of all time called Perfect Blue. That's right, ladies and dudes. Perfect Blue deserves to be number one. And the biggest problem I have with this number one choice is there were too many moments that involve scary moments in this movie. Too many scary moments. And I can't tell which one is the scariest one of all. Is it the part where virtual Mima was haunting Mima for no longer being a pop idol and all that stuff? Or the part where Mima's going to get raped by a scene in a TV show? Or the part where there's going to be when virtual Mima went to that photographer's hotel room and just stabbed him with a knife? Or the main plot twist at the near end of the movie. So there's so many scary moments that you gotta see in Perfect Blue, and you'll know what I mean. So all the moments of Perfect Blue deserves to be the number one most scariest movie moments of all time, period. So there you go, ladies and dudes. That is my top 10 most scariest movie moments of all time. I hope you enjoyed this list. And remember, ladies and dudes, please be careful of what movie that you are enjoying the best for all those years. There will always be some scenes here and there that will kind of freaks you out, and it'll give you nightmares for the rest of your life, if you know what I mean. So anyway, ladies and dudes, what is the most scariest movie moment that you have ever seen your whole entire life from all the films that you enjoyed from your childhood to adulthood? Well, whatever it is, comment below and let me know. And join me next time for my next top 10 list to come, and it will be a much better list than this one. So for my next top 10 list will be my top 10 best movie heroes of all time. And we got a tribute to one of our famous movie characters who became the main protagonist in a really good film, I guess. So anyway, be prepared for my new list to come, and I will see you all later. Sayonara, and beware of some scary stuff, if you know what I mean. So, bye.